You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, share. You guys know the drill. So let's talk about Josh Allen, Stefon Diggs, Sean McDermott. Yesterday there was a story that came out and dropped, and it got a lot of traction, and I wanted to try to make a video on it, but there was bigger stories that just sort of took priority over this story. More drama-filled stories, although this has got some drama. And Josh Allen, of course, the superstar quarterback of the Bills, I got to be honest, one of my favorite players in the NFL right now. Man, as far as quarterbacks that have entered the league, this is a guy that has truly worked himself into a very good quarterback after being a much more rawer prospect than I think a lot of people remember coming out of Wyoming. So, enter in Stefon Diggs, and there was some drama back at camp. And now we've got Josh Allen coming out, and he's slamming the media for making it a story. Now, normally I'd be like, hell yeah, slam the hell out of the media. Except this is a story, okay? Whether Josh Allen likes it or not, or wants to squash it or not, this was a story. Why? Well, the Buffalo Bills coach made it a story. He did. And Stefon Diggs' actions, not only here and on the sideline with Josh Allen, and his history with what happened with the Minnesota Vikings, okay? And so it makes it all a valid story. It makes it worth watching. And we're going to get into what he said here about the media. And then Mike Florio noticed something very interesting, and he pointed it out. We're going to highlight that too. So again, me and Florio don't see eye to eye on a lot of this political stuff, but on some of the football stuff, yeah, we're pretty aligned on a lot of it, and that's where he is very good if he can stay out of politics. So let's get to this. This is the New York Post. Josh Allen has just about had it with the media. The Bills quarterback is imploring the press to, quote, let go of the team's offseason drama, including star wide receiver Stefon Diggs, who made headlines last month after missing the first day of minicamp. Quote, I love him. That's my guy, Allen said on a recent episode of Bussin with the Boys. Let me see if I can actually play the clip or see how long it is. And we'll just check it out. Oh, yeah, okay. It's only 30 seconds. So
Stuff going on. Can you talk about your relationship with him?
Yeah, I love him. That's my guy. Like, what the media has blown this so far out of proportion, right? Like, we are in rookie or minicamp. We're not playing a game for 4 months. He doesn't show up one day. He's still there. You know, coach asked him to go home. We were in talks and discussions of trying to resolve some things, and it wasn't anything major. And media just blew it up. And they're still talking about it. Like, let it go. Let it go. There's no reason to continue talking about it. He was on the field with us the next day. You know, it was not a big deal.
Okay. Look, I'm not a member of the media. And by rule of thumb, I can't stand the media. And I like Josh Allen, but he's out of his damn mind if he thinks people are going to let this go. Okay? And it was really and truly his coach set this up to be a big deal. Now, there was something going on with Stefon Diggs, and we don't know what it is, so he owns some of it there. But it would be absurd of us to not to act like there's not a story here or some potential drama here. And this has got the chance to be the most interesting division in football. You've got the Buffalo Bills that every year for the last 3 years has been a perennial favorite. And then, let's be honest, it's felt like they've underachieved every year. And then you've got their star wide receiver, all right, acting a lot like he did in Minnesota. A lot of people were starting to draw the line of, okay, is this the beginning of the end of Diggs wanting to leave Buffalo to go somewhere else? I think he would be out of his mind to do that, because he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball. And I believe Diggs is a top, 5 receiver in the league. I made a video a while back about the guy, and we were just looking at his stats in that video, It's absurd, but he's also got so many targets. I don't know how you would possibly get the guy the ball more. I don't. It's an absurd amount of targets. It feels almost like a detriment at this point, a deficit to try to get a guy that many targets. And because obviously the ball's not getting spread around. And you got to wonder, is that why other receivers can't sort of grow on that team? Diggs, 29, attended the second day of minicamp with his agent, telling ESPN how the 3-time Pro Bowler had been in the building earlier that week and, quote, will be there for the entirety of minicamp. And we didn't hear much else, right? Okay, we didn't hear much else that happened at all. Now, you go back to what Diggs added in a March episode of The Shop, and he aired out frustrations. Quote, it doesn't make any sense, Diggs said. I'll rack my brain with this shit at this point. I think it's more execution than anything. Shit is small little pieces on why it's not going right. We've got the players. We got the plays. Why shit ain't coming together? Question mark. That's where you draw some of the questions. I never want to question who I am. I never want to question how I am. I'm giving this shit everything I got. I'm dying on the hill. Look, I'll be the first to say I think the guy wants to win. Diggs is coming off his second-best season, 1,429 yards, 108 receptions, and 11 TDs. He's got 4,283 yards, 35 touchdowns with Josh Allen as his teammate. Now, so very astutely, there was something that was caught by Florio, and I caught it too now that I've seen the video, because I just saw Florio wrote an article about it, and I was like, I like to go into these fresh so we can consume it sort of together, and I can react. But I know exactly where Florio's going to go with this because I immediately noticed it in the clip. Bills quarterback Josh Allen recently asked the media to stop talking about last month's drama with Stefon Diggs. In talking about why the media shouldn't talk about it, Allen talked about something that we hadn't talked about before. One of the biggest lingering questions on whether Diggs walked out of the facility before a mandatory minicamp or whether he was told to leave. According to Allen, Coach Sean McDermott, quote, asked Diggs to go home. He said he told the star wide receiver to go home from camp. I mean, that's significant, guys. There was enough drama there for the coach to ask the wide receiver to leave. Yeah, that's very significant for two reasons. First, it shows something went haywire during conversations about issues that Allen insists are no big deal. Second, it puts the team's characterization of the situation in a much different light. The media first became aware of the incident when McDermott disclosed that Diggs was absent from mandatory minicamp, adding McDermott is, quote, very concerned about the situation. That was the coach's words, very concerned. Then, after Diggs' agent said the player was in Buffalo and attending the practices, the team said that Diggs left the building before the day's practice started. That night, Diggs went to social media with his message and said, quote, I just be letting people cap. If them lies help you sleep better, tell them, big dog. We didn't know who he was referring to or what the lie supposedly was. Thanks to Allen, we got a pretty good idea. Diggs rightfully believed the team and its coach were mischaracterizing the circumstances surrounding Diggs' departure from the building. Look, I'm going to tell you what I heard on a podcast, and I'm not going to say whose podcast because I don't know if he wants it to blast out there like that, but there was a feeling that, frankly, people were saying that Diggs actually was in the building on the day that Sean McDermott was like, well, I don't know where he's at. And it's like, okay, he's in the building where he's supposed to be, and you, the coach, you don't even know that? And you're making it an issue? Yikes. Can you imagine Bill Belichick missing something like a player, a superstar player, whether or not he's in the building or not, I just don't think that would happen. I truly don't. There's something going on in Buffalo. And, whether Josh Allen wants the media to drop it or not, or wants somebody like me that's not even a part of the media, but just what you would refer to as a pundit to drop it or not, the only thing I could say to that is no way. There's something going on there. There is. And we've seen this kind of thing in the past, not only with Diggs, but other diva wide receivers. Should I name them? Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown. Okay, we've seen diva wide receivers absolutely implode teams. I'm a 49ers fan. I vividly remember the Steve Young, Mariucci, Terrell Owen days. Jeff Garcia days. I remember all of that. All right, and it got ugly, and next thing you know, I look up, and my favorite player that was still left on the team, Terrell Owens, was not on the team anymore. Of course, that was when the Yorks came in and imploded everything, and it was a mess for 12 years. But still, that happened, right? Tell me what you think. Black and White Sports 2 supporters, Bills fans. I love Bills fans, actually. Bills Mafia. I mean, they're some of the best fans in all of sports. They're not going to be happy because, of course, they're going to be like, yeah, listen to Josh Allen, drop it. No, there's drama here. I mean, there is. Whether anybody likes it or not, going into the start of training camp, you have to wonder. I mean, look, this team has got to be going full steam because you got Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and a talented, loaded roster there. If Tua stays healthy, you got Tyreek Hill, provided he's not locked up or suspended, and Waddle down there, and then you've in Miami, and then you've got, and I keep saying this, the biggest acquisition of the year that nobody is talking about is the offensive coordinator in New England. That team's going to score some points this year. And Mac Jones, all of a sudden we're going to look up and we're going to be like, oh, there really is a good fourth quarterback in this division. So this is going to get interesting. It really is. Make sure you hit subscribe. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.